So, hi everyone. So, in today's session, we'll be learning about fairness and bias. Plus, I'll give you some options which you can pick as per your interest, okay, so that you can create a mini project for your own understanding and for this session. So, first of all, we'll complete the session and I'll sorry, then I'll explain what all options you can pick and choose to create your project. Okay. So, okay. So, how many of you remember in, I guess, session three when we were when I was using the Teachable Machine website and we trained the model on the basis of my particular right hand. And when I tried to showcase my left hand, the model was unable to give me a correct choice. Any one of you recall that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Actually,
So
sir, your background was same, so it was having an error.
yeah, my background was same and it was having an error, but also there was a reason. Like if someone else apart from me was showing up their hand, then also it might have shown some issues in recognizing uh, what kind of classification it should do. So you do remember that, right? Because this is different from this, and sometimes like if I just trained the model as per my only right hand images, then it would have also shown some inconsistencies with my left hand as well. Okay, that is not a bug, that's a bias. Okay, so a model is learned. The model learned everything that is being presented to it or that has been showed to it. Okay, so today we'll go deep into this and you'll understand, what is bias actually. So So, what exactly is algorithmic bias? So, algorithmic bias is when occurs when an AI system produces systematically unfair outcomes to some particular people or group, usually because of the problems in data design context uh, the system is built on. So, this is not like some random noise. It is systematic unfairness, and if the same group is not it's not catered to that a new particular group, then it will keep on giving unbiased uh, answer to that particular uh, situation or anything particular for a particular topic as well. For example, there was a tweet which I think Donald Trump tweeted. He said that uh, Claude specifically is biased towards uh, the left part of the government because and it consistently says things against Donald Trump's government because uh, it's quite possible that the training data used to train Claude would have show some bias against Donald Trump. So it's just systematically unfair outcomes as per the data that has been provided to train the model, and it can show completely biasness towards it. Okay, so here are some examples as well. MIT research found that commercial facial recognition had up to 35% error rates for darker skinned women and lighter skinned men, and because underrepresentative training data causes such issues because if the model is not being trained to all cater all particular options available, uh, then it will show bias towards a particular group or particular community. Okay, so Amazon's hiring tool downgraded resumes containing women's chess club. It learned 10 years because it was trained on 10 years of male dominant hiring, and then Amazon scrapped it in 2018. And similarly, in healthcare risk scoring, the US algorithm used cost to care as a proxy for health need. Black patients historically spent less on their health, so their model underestimated their needs. So these are some examples which people face in real world, showing systematic biasness of models, and each individual model will be biased uh, and will show its biasness as per the training data that is being provided. Any doubts regarding this? everyone understands what is algorithmic bias, why does it occur, and what can be the reason behind it. My screen is shared, right? Yeah. So no doubts regarding this. Okay, I'll then just move forward with it. So where does bias come from? So the data bias, training data doesn't represent, if the training data doesn't represent reality in a very fair share of amount, then the model will be trained on biasness. Will show the bias against uh, the unpresented data or unpresented scenarios in the training data. Okay, so like if you surveyed 100 students about their favorite subject, but only asked students from science stream, your result would be biased towards science. For example, uh, the survey method, will not cater to the non-science streams. If if the survey is only uh, catering towards particular group, then it's showing this its biasness towards science. Similarly, uh, that can happen to a training model as well. Okay. Example, spam filter is trained on English emails, and then it will obviously fail on Hindi and Tamil emails as well. That's a very basic example. Label bias. So everyone understands what label is, right? The label used to classify different types of training data. So human labels applied to data carry some prejudice before it. So uh, photos of professionals labeled based on gender assumptions. Male doctors labeled as doctor, female doctors labeled as nurse. So if you train a particular data model, sorry, image model, and say this should identify these are the images of doctors, and just give it all the images of male doctors, then the model will always think that if you're talking about a doctor, then it will pre-assume that you are talking about a male, not a female. And if all the photos of nurses are given of female nurses as well, then the model will be trained as per thinking, oh, okay, every nurse is a female nurse only. That does male nurse doesn't exist. It's like similar to uh, take this analogy, like if a particular let's say if a child is born in a family which comes from a very rich background, and it learns and grows into a particular environment which is filled with all the amenities, then the upbringing of that child will be very very different from someone who is grown in a very poor household, or who doesn't have access to all the amenities. So it's a similar scenario. If the training model is surrounded by all the parameters and surrounded by all the uh, possible uh, inputs that can be given to that model, so that it becomes less biased, then the model will be very tactical and very equal on individual aspect. But if the model is not trained on every part possible input, then it will specifically be biased to the inputs provided to the model. Another type of bias is a measurement bias. The features measured don't capture what we exactly care about. Um, so measuring for example, uh, let's say, let me think of an example for this. Um, so the example here mentioned is like measuring a student's ability by only their exam score. Okay, yeah. So very simple example. Like if you give marks to a particular individual on the basis of their academic scores, then obviously you miss the pointers wherein the collaborative efforts, the creativity, the hard working, and the dedication of that individual will be missed. So that's a measurement bias here and there. Historical bias is even a perfectly collected data set from a real world can reflect historic inequalities, which do not actually people do not actually want to go ahead. If you train a model to hire people based on who was hired in the past, and the past had some imbalances or some discrimination in hiring, then the model will replicate that discrimination, and then even more people without even trying to discriminate. Okay, so because the model understands, okay, so this is my uh, hiring history. I need to hire these kind of particular individuals more than the remaining individuals. But In reality, hiring should be equal to every individual who's applying to that particular position. So the same Amazon example, okay? So it tried to uh, reject female candidates because it was trained on male resumes more. So this is a very easy and simple real world example. Any real world example which you can think of uh, based on bias? Uh, Anyone who wants to explain can give it a try. Everyone is understanding what I'm trying to explain, right? Uh, what exactly bias means. Any questions regarding it? Okay. Okay. Someone has texted. Okay, I'll just give a quick recap. Sorry if I pronounce it, I might mess it up, so I'll not try to pronounce it. So we are just in this session covering what is algorithmic bias and what exactly goes behind as per the training data of a training model. So if the training model, if the training data of a model is not equally catered to each and individual aspect and each and individual group of the society, then that model can show biasness towards that particular group or people. Okay, so it produces systematically unfair outcomes for some people in groups, and these were some examples showing uh, biasness that happened in the previous use cases. And biasness basically comes from four parts: that data can be biased, the label can be biased, the measurement can be biased, and there can be a historical bias, which continues as we move ahead in time. Okay. If that historical bias is not being catered off, then that historical bias will continue into the model. So if you are aware of recent articles that have been shown, OpenAI and Anthropic both are trying to, improve their unfair biases of their individual model, making them more holistic and more, uh, you know, understandable of individual groups and communities, so that it does not reply into as a biased individual and does not give a biased response, because it is really important. If the model is very biased regarding some particular section to the society, then that model is not doing its job correct. Okay, let's see some code before I move forward.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have a doubt. Can removing sensitive information like gender can eliminate biasness?
Elaborate what you are trying to say there. Like removing gender biasness, as in, give me an example. Hello.
Sir, I was not able to hear you. Can you repeat yourself once again?
I'm saying, give me an example what you're trying to say. Removing biasness by how, if the training data does not include a particular gender, as in. Just repeat your question. Okay.
My question was that can the biasness be reduced or removed if we remove the information, sensitive information like race or gender?
Uh, Depends on the context you're trying to train your model on. For example, if you are training, okay, let's say an example, if you're training a model to give you a response to your particular texts, uh, identifying what is uh, what is the reason behind someone facing an issue from just by reading your text. Okay, so if those texts are coming from all the male individuals, and if gender is not mentioned, then sometimes you cannot understand exactly what the exact context is. So it is always important. It's good, if you try to train the model with less biased inputs, but uh, if you try to eliminate uh, the biasness in the training data, then at the very end, the training data is getting reduced. Okay. And the more training data is being provided to the model, the better the model will give you a response. So it's always a good option to train the model on more and more possible inputs and, to cater all individual societies and genders and groups rather than just eliminating gender and, just excluding gender as a context, for example, because most multi-purpose models are catering to all the individuals. So if you're not including them, then it might not give you a correct response.
Okay.
Okay. So let's
So, like, can there be a model which is not biased at all?
uh, so for example, all the current models are already trained on the free available text in the internet. There's no text remaining on internet or documents remaining on internet which are not being used to train all the existing models. But in those models as well, for example, if I teach a model basically, uh, let's say, mm, on a if from ground up, I just teach a model on the historic learnings of all the great leaders. Okay, so if the model is being you know trained on all the learnings of the leaders that have ruled the world, then the model will think like them. Okay, and it will not understand today's context and today's geopolitical issues and today's geopolitical problems and today's context of how each countries are interacting with each other. It will always think like uh, what emperors used to think 300, 400 years back. You understand that? Hello.
Yeah, sir, I understood it.
Yeah. Is my screen visible, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
So let's take this. Just a second. Okay. So seeing just implementing, bias in the code format of Python, how biasness can act. So just go through the code first, and I want you to have a hang of Python because it is really important if you try to understand what exactly this is doing. So here we are just importing all the libraries. I have just declared two particular labels, biased reviews and biased labels. Okay. Uh, Training the data on biased data, sorry, training the model on the biased data, and then test on fair reviews. So if so here simply if I am just giving that phone brand A has great battery life, phone brand A has a great camera, A feels premium and smooth, A is fast and reliable, and always just trash about the phone brand B, then if I ask a particular is my voice is not audible or is it coming less? Can anyone confirm?
Quickly audible.
No, sir, it's audible.
It is audible, right?
Yeah.
Someone was okay. So if you are so basically think of it like this. You are the training data is just individual pointers which are you are just feeding to the training model and saying, okay, think like this, and it is creating patterns as per the training data. So if it has been trained, okay, the phone brand A is very good, and phone brand B has so many issues that the support is terrible, it overheats, and then I ask if phone brand A crashed 3 times a day, then it will say no, it's not possible because phone brand A is very good in all these aspects. You understand? So this is just an example to show you. If I just run this particular law. So, yeah. So I told him, okay, the phone brand A crashed 3 times a day, and it predicted it. Okay, that's not possible because phone brand A has a very good uh, input because phone brand A has a very great battery life, and its camera is amazing and it is fast and reliable. So if I say to him, okay, it crashed 3 times, then it will predict, okay, it's not possible. If I say phone brand B has a great battery life, then it will say, uh, yeah, it can have a great battery life because I've told him that, okay, it has a great battery. Okay, okay, somehow it's not. Um,
Excuse me, sir.
yeah, just a second. I'm seeing this wrong biased. Should be negative as well. Yeah, so I'm gonna ask something.
Yes,
Just
sir.
send me wrong.
So I was asking, we are also taught different evaluation metrics. For example, the F1 score precision, recall, and
Mhm.
all of that. Can you just tell me how our AI model will also show us the precision scores and all? Like, do I just straight up put up the formula or do I calculate it myself?
No, these scores are directly just, obviously these are just calculations as per your individual requirement. And how will these models show you? I'm not trying to understand what you're exactly trying to ask.
I
Like,
was asking,
do
for
you want
example,
to do you
you've
do you
given
want to do you want to
accurate.
implement the check the accuracy as in?
Yeah, like that. Like it's showing us the accuracy. So can we also do the same for like the rest of them?
Yeah, sure. So this is just a basic accuracy. Just I'm just identifying. Okay, so these are my expected responses, and uh, these are I just calculate if my expected responses are as per to what I'm expecting. Okay, so this is just a basic percentage of it. There's nothing. There's no specific score or about. There are multiple metrics like F1 score and T. There's also some ratio as well. I'm not exactly fully don't remember each individual formula for each of them, but these there are 4 to 5 individual metrics. If you go and search about them, there are 4 to 5 metrics that you can use to test a particular model uh, on which that if my training data is pretty accurate and this is my testing data and how it is performing on my testing data. So, are you looking to implement it into a particular model or something? What do you want from my side?
Yes, like implementation of that.
Okay, so for that I have to pick out multiple. Um, so do you want the formulas for it, or do you want me to, just okay, just a sec. For how about just we complete this particular session and then I give you uh, the formulas for the individual
Okay, sir, no problem.
metrics, yeah, because there are multiple metrics like you can directly calculate your accuracy
Yes,
and
sir.
precision. There's one called recall as well, uh,
I
which
heard
that
that
one.
there were different for classification and the other models. For like classification, it was the F1 score precision and recall. And for your regression models, it was mean square error and root mean square error and something like that.
So there are multiple as well. Like this called these are just mathematical formulas like false positive rates, and also uh, there's a metric called specificity as well. But these are the metrics which you will learn after you've created a particular
Yes, sir.
testing data and actually predicting. So this all these can be used for testing a classification model. There is no specific particular thing that okay you can use only these metrics. These all are just metrics, uh,
Okay,
and
sir.
there is a confusion matrix that exists. Okay, so there can be like positive,
I
predicted,
have a doubt.
negative. Yeah.
But didn't we change that the phone brand A is better and phone brand B is not? So why is the expected that
Sorry,
it
sir. I'm actually answering to that particular question. I'll come to that as well. The code might be wrong. Don't worry about it. It is just a code. I'm just using it to try to explain what I'm saying in the previous session. Okay. So don't worry about it. I'll come back to it. And I took it and I saw it as well that it is giving me a wrong response and it should not be as it is showing. Okay.
Yes, sir.
yes.
So anyone of you has heard about confusion metrics? You must have not. So there's a confusion matrix that exists. So if I just show you what is a confusion matrix, are you able to see the screen, right? So the confusion matrix says it has four particular individual things. So that's a true positive, true negative, false positive, and a false negative, and you all just uh, align it into a particular response as you see from the training data or the response data. So you calculate, okay, this is uh, these were all the true positives that I got from my training data. These were all the true negatives. The model which correctly predicted my positive outcome, and true negative means the model that predicted the negative outcome. The model that incorrectly predicted the positive outcome, which means it was false, but it predicted it as true. And the false negative is that uh, it was true, but the model predicted it as negative. So these four particular individuals are calculated from the testing inputs, so that then after this, the metrics that we were discussing, the F1 score, the recall, are based on these particular values. So if you have an understanding what these values are, then only you can calculate the accuracy, specificity, sorry, and the recall value or the F1 score. So all these particular are dependent on these four metrics. So here is also the formula given for accuracy, precision, recall, F1 score, and specificity. But for them, you need to first calculate these values from your testing data. You understand? Does this clear your
Yes.
specific doubt?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have to then first create a confusion matrix and calculate all the values. Then only you can uh, calculate the other metrics because the formulas are dependent on it. Okay. Code is not correct. So just check the code once. It is actually giving the opposite result. The first result should be positive. Okay, no, it predicted it negative, which is expected to be negative, I guess. So phone brand A crashed 3 times, which possible. It should be positive. And phone brand B has a great negative, positive. Now it's giving me the correct result. Somehow these expected were interchanged because phone brand A cannot crash 3 times. Phone brand B does not have great battery life. Now it is giving me the accuracy as 0 because all the expected inputs from the test reviews are the opposite of it. Now it's correct. Anyone who was having the doubt regarding the code can be wrong because I'm just also uh, trying to explain a concept through code. So it can what bias exactly is doing here.
Yes.
There is every positive. The simple explanation is every positive review was given for brand A, every negative was given for brand B. The model learned that the brand A is bad. Sorry, A is good and B is bad. So anything uh, told about brand A would be positive, that would be wrong bias.
But how
Okay,
do
and
we really train AI to determine this in real life? Because in some cases we can't, like we can't compare Pizza Hut and Domino's. If we ask AI which is better, it have to give a friendly answer telling multiple of them, but not picking only one. Otherwise, the companies will be very angry.
yeah, obviously, yeah, like, this is just an example that we're taking just here two individual brands like A and B. And if a C brand comes in and asks you to say is that brand C is just give a review about brand C, the AI model is just checking that it is positive or not. That's it. It's just doing that. It's not a full-fledged trading. It's just an example of how it behaves behind the scenes. So we'll just first discuss some metrics on how biasness can be reduced. Then I'll move ahead and explain what all projects you can pick and choose from. Okay. So how to reduce bias? So diverse and representative data, that's pretty obvious. Like you collect data that reflects a range of people who will be affected and ask from the data set that you have to decide. You are creating that data set that you have to decide, okay, what particular individual that I'm missing or what particular group I'm missing, I should add it. The fairness metrics, accuracy across the whole data set can hide bias. So measure the accuracy of individual groups separately so that equal and individual opportunity and demographic parity is being taken care of. Bias audits before deployment, test the model on each individual group before releasing it so that you can see if it is performing well for these all the individual groups or not. A human in the loop for high stake decisions like job, loans, healthcare. Always it is really important. My use cases as well, which I'm implementing. There are scenarios wherein it is required that a human verifies whatever the AI is generating or extracting from a particular individual document, so that if it is possible that the AI has extracted something wrong, the human in the loop can redo the edge cases and just change them as per their needs. Transparency and accountability. Uh, Tell users when AI make decisions about them. Publish error by the group. So if your model gets somehow published to the internet and you always see that ChatGPT and Anthropic always mention a disclaimer that AI can make mistakes. So it is really important to use AI to your particular needs and helps, but not to consider it. Okay, this is only the correct thing that is being presented to you. It can generate something that is totally wrong, that is totally not of your use case. Okay. Let's go ahead with the projects. We'll give you a list of projects. Okay, so first we can is create a extended chatbot. Okay, whatever we learned in the previous session about a rule-based chatbot. Just try and add and include more individual topics. Use the any function to create more nuances into that chatbot so that it can have a particular emotion regarding a particular response. Give random responses, add a personality. We'll be using most of the if and else statements, loops and functions, and all the string uh, topics that we covered. You can also create a quiz bot about that asks the user five questions and keeps a score using loops, lists, score counter, and strings. A spam filter, you can also create your own spam filter with more training data and user-facing input prompt. For that, you have to use the sklearn and scikit-learn libraries, because you're training that data using that particular library for training a particular model. Also, you can create a personal info bot with fully polished version of T2 bot, which we created. Was a very basic bot, right? But we can you can use input functions to collect information, compute things, produce a specific profile variable, arithmetic strings, and functions. Uh, if you want, you can also create a bias audit tool which checks if that particular training data, sorry, testing data is biased to. You can obviously you have to predefine it. Uh, what all groups you're checking your biases on. Uh, can create any of these particular five. And of course, first of all, try. I always encourage this. Use AI to write code, but you should know what you're trying to get out of from it. I also use AI to generate code for my particular use cases.
Excuse
But
me,
if
sir.
you are not, yeah,
So could we also get the PPTs that you had shared with us? Because I think that would be beneficial for all of us just to go through about what we've learned in the past
I'll
8
sure,
sessions.
sure. No, it is. I'll share those PPTs as well. Uh, a friendly advice from me is use AI for your health. Like, use it as an assistant. Uh, make it generate the outputs what you want, and not just accepting whatever the output the AI has given to you. Okay, I know you will all create these particular individual projects using AI only. So there is no point of me, or telling you that okay, don't use AI, just write them out by your own hand because it is pointless. Going forward, it is really important that each and every one of you learn how to use AI for your own good and for your own benefit. Everyone should know how to write better prompts, how to give better context to the model so that you can generate uh, single shot outputs. Okay, and you don't have to reiterate multiple times to your prompt. So using AI responsibly and more effectively is really, really important. And it will help you in completing your task and making you learn as you complete your task. Sometimes there are a lot of times where I complete my tasks using AI and it makes me learn something which I had known before. Okay. So uh, always just be open to learn a particular thing that the AI is being telling you, okay, this can be done like this as well. So, but use it as a tool, not something that guides you. You have to guide the AI model, not be guided by that AI. You're understanding what I'm trying to say, okay?
Sir, we have to make one from these, right?
Yeah, just make anyone from these. I'll also share these individual in the group as well, and all the PPTs as well. I'll share them. What is regarding.
Okay. And is it necessary to make it on collab or we can use ideally?
So Collab is freely available, and you can write your Python code without any issues in that. So if you want, you can create a Python file separate from Collab as well, but Collab is easily accessible, so I feel Collab will be the right option.
Okay.
s-
Yeah. So I these are very small projects. I recommend everyone, just create your individual projects. And if someone, so these five options I have given to you, okay, as per the sessions we have had. If your creativity allows you to create something which is out of, which is not from these five options, then you can create that as well. As long as it is something, it is helping you to learn something new, and it is, helping you to uh, push your boundaries and learn Python a bit more, then you should go ahead and try it as well.
Sir, the submission, like if we have to submit the file in which form, like in doc, or shall I just give the .py file?
Uh, you'll get those instructions soon as well. I'm also not fully sure how to take any the submissions as of now, so uh, you'll get the clarity on that as well.
Sir, sir, could you brief me about the what we have to do?
So I gave in five options for the projects that you can create as per the sessions we've had. One is an extended chatbot, uh, a rule-based chatbot. One is a quiz bot, uh, that the bot asks five questions and you keep the score of the individual that is responding with the bot. Other is a spam filter with more training data and a better user-facing input prompt. One is a personal info bot. So if you set the rules, if the questions regard to the bot are asked about your individual personal information, then the bot can reply. And other is a bias audit tool, a Python program which walks in users through the bias audit worksheet and questions interactive. These are five options. You can pick anyone. Also, if you have your own idea which you think you can uh, proceed with, you can pick that as well.
Sir,
सर
could
ये
you
हमें
show the
इंडिविजुअली
slide on
बनना
which?
था.
Sir,
So,
as you said, we can use our own idea. So, like, will we have to explain our idea also?
yeah, if any one of you is using to create the project as per your own idea, then please there must be a short description what you're trying to create, and also create a create a doc file containing. So I think you should do it. Everyone should do it in this manner only. So explain whatever the idea that you're trying to create first, then the Python code supporting that idea, the output that you were expecting, and the output that you're getting. Simple format will be easy to evaluate as well.
Sir?
सर ये हमें
Yeah,
इंडिविजुअली करना है या ग्रुप.
individually करना. बहुत छोटा project है. There is no need for groups in this.
सर जो असाइनमेंट है वो ग्रुप में शेयर होगा.
I'll share there are multiple options in the group as well.
Sir, where we have to submit the project?
We will be informed regarding it. Don't worry. Any other questions?
Sir, will the project info also be shared on the group?
Yeah, it will be shared on the group. So before I end the session, any other questions regarding any specific AI specific questions that any of you wants to ask to me? Any doubts?
Till when do we have to submit the project?
You will get those timelines as soon as possible. Actually, I still am not sure about the timelines as of now, but most probably it will be in the last session, I think, by the last session, sorry. Uh, but I'll confirm and be updated on it. No other questions?
Yes, sir.
Nah. Yes, Dash.
Sir, no other questions.
No other questions? Then this is the end for today's session. We'll meet uh, uh, in the next session where we will. You don't have to present all your projects, but we'll submit all the projects so that they can be evaluated, I think, or we'll just confirm that to everyone regarding it. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Sir, we'll in the last session we will discuss about the projects we have submitted.
Most probably, yes. We'll discuss what all we have created. If anyone wants to showcase, then we can have a look at that as well.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.